Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Indian report for the 1st of July. So we're pretty much on track here, and we can also look for a long trade now too for from green wave 4 to green wave 5 here. And I think we just need to go in and take a closer look, but in a nutshell here, 1 and 2 and nice strong third wave up there that can also pretty much go on that low there too. So let's go in and have a closer look at this little area through here. So any move up through here would be looking for a move above the wave 3 here. So that could probably, obviously there's going to be resistance at the 10,500. Right, so between the 600 and the 650 would be a reasonable sort of target area for this at this stage, but we'll look to count the waves as we move higher from here. So yesterday when we were speaking, we were looking at possible wave 4 sitting in through here, but wasn't the case. So we had this one and one over here. So this one here is the correct one at this stage, so that's okay. And then that leaves us for a move higher now, probably off this low here, but I'm not quite sure, but we will go in and have a little look at this here on the 15-minute chart. So just squash it up here for a second. So wave 3 over here, an A wave here, an A and a B and a C wave here for the B wave. And then we want to be moving up from here. Now, how do we count 5 waves in here? Is this wave 1 here and 2 here, nice strong third wave here, but wave 4 comes all the way back up here and overlaps wave 1 here. So that's a real problem, but still we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So it's a little bit tricky. And also we haven't made a new low below here as well just yet. It squashes it up a little bit. We're expecting the US markets to pick up a little bit. So I suppose if we were going to trade this, where can we do it from? I think we could pretty much do it from this high here and keep the stop under the low here. Now, there is risk in this, and the risk is that we can't count 5 waves very nicely from wave B to wave C. So that's the risk. So in that case, we have to go step by step with things. So in this high point here to this low point here, we need to know where the resistance is. I mean, we're traveling back through history through here, so there's resistance all over the place, but this would be the first one here. So we could say that 10,300 is which is minor group 1, and group 1 is 1, 2, and 3 here. That one doesn't need to be there. If we get support on this level here, then we're going to be pushing to the upside from that point, and then we can look to go to 500 or even 650 here, somewhere in amongst all of that here. 650 is an important little level, beginning of group 2, but 600 is obviously important as well. So in that space there, we can look to be having a target area there. But I think realistically is that that will go for the 10.5. The other point here is that I mean, the reason for taking the trade here is that it looks like an impulse wave off the low here. So that means that we should get another impulse wave here, but it may only get to here. That's where the resistance is going to be. This is really important here, the 10,300, because it's the top of group 1. So we would need to see a correction across this level here before you can add to positions at that point. So you may want to take some profit in this space here and then just wait and get moved back in over here for that, and we'll just keep this under here for the time being. Look, there may be another low in here, it'll catch you out, but the risk is a little bit higher than normal. It's not it's not, we are buying a pullback in the bigger picture here, but it's not like we've got, you know, buying a pullback in this in a bullish market, so to speak. So the risk is higher because we're in wave 4, but the wave 4 here has matured quite a lot at this point, and there's a good chance that it can move up. So really all you're doing is buying strength, and then you can also look to move this stop here, so that stop can also go under this low here, and you could even go to the next low in here. But I just want to be careful that we don't get like wave 1 here and back for wave 2, then wave 1 and a deep wave 2 here and get caught out. Do you know what I mean? So you just need to be a little bit mindful of that. Perhaps even do half a trade here. And as mentioned here, it wouldn't hurt to take a bit of percentage here in this space. You can always get back in. So I'll just leave that like that there for a moment. I'll just save that. So in a nutshell, just sort of recap that a little bit. Just come back to the 4-hour chart here. And yeah, so we're just looking for a push up. Confirmation would be a nice support on top of group 1, which is 10,300, and the target would be 500 at that point. Also, just why we're here in Asia, I want to have a look at the Nikkei. The Nikkei here we've got counting up as 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and wave 3 here. So this is very much like the Australian market. It's very much like the US market. So we just need to be, you know, when I was talking about India just continuing to move, India can kind of do its own thing where these other markets tend to follow a little bit. So there's a good chance that this can go straight up from there, but with the S&P 500, it can move up and then come down here for wave 4 and then move up from there. So that's what we're a little bit concerned about. This is the same thing for Australia as well, for most countries, but I know India can do its own thing, so that's fine. It can just push up in its own instance at that point. It's got a different count. And also China's pushing up nicely, so we'll just have a quick look at China here. So this is just the A50 here. So it's not the Shanghai or the Shenzhen. The Shenzhen is moving up really quite nice. We might just even have a look at that too. So this is Shanghai here. This is the A-class shares, and this is going back over a bit of time through here, so we can just see this play out here for this. So I'll just get this into perspective a little bit. So this is the Shanghai A shares. And the thing I like about this is that I see this really quite bullish. I mean, we could count this down here as an A and a B and a C wave through here, but and that makes it bullish as well. But what makes it bullish for me is that I can count 5 waves up here. So an A wave here, a B wave here, sorry, an A and a B wave in here, and a C wave here. This is a little bit messy in here, but obviously news driven and created spikes and so on, but it does present a bullish pattern to me. So for me, this can just move much higher through here, and it probably will. The Shanghai comp, which most people watch, is this one here, and that's sitting on 3,000 at the moment. So when that becomes the support at this level, then that's going to be helpful for China as well. Also too, the market that's actually leading this to the upside really is Shenzhen. So when we look at it here in the bigger picture, let me wind this up a little bit. It's much more buoyant in the whole process of everything. This is at 2,000, another major level in there, but I'm just going to take those off there for a moment. What I wanted to point out here, though, is yes, the A wave here, then an A and a B and a C wave over here, and the main point here is that this market here is making new highs. So it's basically leading, this is the one that's leading China to the upside here. and it still has more to go. So we're getting impulse waves to the upside here that are not finished. So this is all really quite bullish for China, and it's one of the countries that are coming out of the COVID thing quite well in its own way. And this coming back to the China A50 here. So the A shares are traded in other countries. So this is the top 50 there. So in this particular instance here, I've had difficulty with this particular market here. But one thing I was able to do was that we'd counted, if you recall, 1 and 2 here, and a third wave up here. It's a bit complicated, but we nailed that down okay, and wave 4 here. And then we saw this impulse wave to the upside here. So that impulse wave to the upside here could be wave 5 here. That's the way we had it. But it was in 3 waves here. So that's why we decided to go long on that little high here. And I'm just going to push this here for the moment. Now, I don't know if this is the right thing to do, or we've got a bigger structure, but from wave 4 here, we've got 1 ABC for 2 here, nice impulse wave for 3, 4, wave 4 overlaps this, so that's a problem too. I'm aware of that, and we need to make new highs here. So this is also going to move higher through here as well. Now, as I mentioned, these have got overlapping wave structures, so I think there's actually something much bigger unfolding through here. And the other point here too is that once we do take this top out here, then it confirms that this is an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. And what happens then? We get to take this top out over here. So these are all steps. So we looked at the SHENZHEN because it's leading us higher, and all the other ones here are tagging along quite nicely and look quite bullish in all of this. I think it's also time to have a look at Hong Kong as well. Hong Kong is really the it's the financial center for Asia, and that's why China wants, well, probably just one of the reasons it wants to dominate that. It wants to dominate everything, don't they? Not the Chinese people. The Chinese people are lovely. Just the CCP, got to kind of put things in their right place as such. Now, this market here, I'm still having trouble with it being bullish. It can be bullish because from the low here, I've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the A wave. So that could be wave 1, an A and a B and a C here for wave B here. And then up 5 waves up here for C. So I've got it as an A and a B and a C. And currently I've got 5 waves moving down through here. So it could just be, all of this could be bullish, and it could be, and it can count in both ways. So in terms of being bullish, it would be wave 1 here, wave 2 here, then wave 1 here, an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave coming down to the 61.8% here, and then moving up from that point. So coming down here would need 5 waves, so we've got 1 so far. So, but if it comes too far down through here, then we've got a bearish market at that point. We can only go long in this if don't need that. So we could put that up here. So we can go long in Hong Kong up here. Now we could probably, I'll keep an eye on it. We could probably get a better situation than that. But what I can say so far is this is 5 waves. This is also 3 waves here. So this is corrective here. So technically we should see a move, below this or equal to it before seeing a move up or seeing a move up further down from that point in a bearish move for this. So this is Hong Kong here, the Hang Seng on a monthly chart here, and to me it just looks all bearish to me, because first of all we don't have 5 waves up to this area up here. So back at the GFC here for an A wave here, an A and a B and a C here for the B wave, and then 5 waves down here for the C wave here. Obviously, a lot of people, you know, a lot of money and companies will flow out of Hong Kong, and China obviously knows that and accepts that, and they don't care. They'll get left with the skeleton of that financial system. But you know, this just doesn't count well as a bullish move so far. Maybe it gets distorted and pushes up somehow. I don't know, but it just doesn't. This doesn't count as bullish here. I mean, even if this was an A wave and a B wave here, or B wave to here, a C wave to here, of what? Of this though? Possibly. I mean, it just gets a little bit weird from that. You know, if we looked at this here as being an A wave to here, and then this B wave here moving to here, and the C wave moving to this low here, and then having this as wave 1, and an A and a B and a C for wave 2 here, that's, you know, that's probably possible, but it's kind of stretching it a little bit. So I'm not that sort of keen on that, but it's possible, and it could be skewed around. But I'm just, you know, when I looked at the other markets, the Shenzhen and the Shanghai, we could see positive moves, you know, in the larger structure, but here we can't see that. So I'm a little bit concerned. I just wanted to point that out anyway. So that's why we need to look at that support for this support here at the 25,000. So that's what we would need to go long there. I just wanted to take you on a bit of a journey there. So anyway, we'll see. Breaching this here would send us positive. So we'll just wait to see what occurs from that. I'll keep an eye on it and keep you updated in good timing for all of that. Alrighty, cheers.